Well, that's a little battery tender junior I just picked up. Charging up this Start. I don't know how old this thing is. I think it's about 6 years old. It's still fine. It's a deep cycle, and I have a 1200 watt inverter next to it. It works pretty good. So what I've been finding out, it's worthwhile to get these little battery tenders because they make the batteries last a lot longer. This battery, this was in my motorcycle. This one is an Odyssey. I don't know how old this thing is, probably 8 years old. The Odyssey batteries are really, really good. Not so much those Optimas anymore. I heard they got crappy because they're made in Mexico now or something. Now, I got this thing here. Is another one I got. It's you can see it's a battery minder. Now, I read that some of the newer versions they got of the battery minders aren't that great. You just get this simple one. That's all you need. You don't need nothing fancy. Just a simple one. It's like 1 amp. And this in this El Camino, I always put bigger battery in it than if you could fit it. There's the old 305. This is a Group 27, and it might even go a little bit bigger than that. Who knows? But it's a Group 27 battery. The last one lasted 5.5 years, but it would have lasted a lot longer if I had this on it. I think in 5.5 years that's pretty good. Well, yeah, I didn't use the car that much, so I only use this thing sporadically. But these things, I've had one of the early ones of this. The first one that came out, it was like 50 bucks. I don't know how many years ago I picked it up. It was when it first came out. I had a, what was it, a Duralast battery. Not even the best one. It was the cheapest one. It was in this thing. And it lasted. It wasn't like really starting the car up really that good, but it was still starting it up after freaking 17 years before it finally crapped out. 17 years. That was a Duralast, the cheapest one they made. And I don't think it's because it was the brand or anything like that. It was because I had that battery minder on there. And I also used to put the little solar charger, a real tiny one. It was nothing. It wasn't a desulfator. The other one was, the battery minder was a desulfator. But I would also put the solar panel thing on there. It was really low. I didn't have a charge controller on or nothing. And I used to, just plug it into this, and I had the panel laying on top of the hood and the wires going through here. This one is, where's the freaking date? There it is. In September 2014. This thing starts this thing up perfect. It's 6 years and 2 months old. Still starts it up perfect. Now this is supposed to have like a battery that's maybe about that big, maybe that long. This is a Group 75. I'm going to be able to put a Group 78 in here because I got a little more room here and I got a little room here. It's only about, I think it's about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch bigger. It'll fit. Same, lengthwise. And I'm going to put one of those in. I'm not sure what brand I'm going to get, but for now, I don't think I'm going to change this out. I picked up a Yasa. It's a Y-U-A-S-A, I think it is, or Y-U-A-S-A. It's a Japanese battery manufacturer, but one thing you got to watch for was these freaking battery tenders and stuff. Don't get nothing with too many bells and whistles because they tend to screw up. I swear to God, sometimes you're better off just getting a really good brand name of a battery tender, like the battery tender junior or the battery minder or the Yasa, which the Japanese make some good stuff. I got it because there's nothing really, pretty much, there's a couple things made in the USA, like they think the battery minder is, but most of the stuff is made in China. And if it works great. If it doesn't work, it's like hit and miss on the quality sometimes. Not everything's bad. You odds are it's going to be okay. But the Japanese quality is usually a lot better. So I got a Yasa, and I'm going to hook it up to this, and I have the wire just coming right here with a zip tie, and I'm going to paint the wire so it doesn't like oxidize, and then I'll just plug it in every once in a while, see how long this thing lasts. But if I go to change this, I'm going to keep that Yasa battery minder wire hookup on this anyway, so see how long it lasts. I gotta put some kingpins in this thing too. So get this thing done pretty soon here too, get that done. And yeah, with all the crap that's going on today with, I don't even want to mention the words, what's going on. I've been reading about the counts and stuff, how they're counting this and how they're counting that. And yeah, I know what's going on, which would you expect, right? If that freaking commie gets in office, I'm gonna. Not that I like the other guy so much, but if that commie gets in office, I'm gonna freaking get the hell out of here, man. Freaking idiots around here, man. Tell you. Well, in my area, they're cool, but it's like Florida's not one of the best places to go to be. It used to be when it wasn't so crowded. There's too many people down here. Too many people down here. So I got me keep buying my supplies. All kinds of shit over here, man. Oil, distill the water. Awesome cleaner, whatever. Anyway, so we'll see how this works out, But I'm just gonna tell you, it's a smart thing to do. Everybody, you spend money, you go here, you go there, you buy cigarettes, you go freaking into a bar, you spend money on this bullshit. Get stuff like this because, especially for the winter coming up, you keep a battery tender thing on your battery, and you have it hooked up where you can just plug it in the wire, and maybe you have the wire somewhere sticking out from the bottom through the grill or something like that. You can, you keep your car plugged in the wintertime, it'll start a lot better. And these things aren't much money. They go from like 30 to 50 bucks or something. But that could be a big, big thing, if you spend in the wintertime, stuff like that. It gets really freaking cold. It's pretty hard on these batteries, man. So this one wasn't much money. It's a battery tender junior. And this is not a desulfator. This is just a flow charger. So, and the Yasa I'm getting is just a flow charger too. The other one, the battery minder, is a desulfator. That desulfator thing actually is pretty good, but I'm not sure why that one battery lasted well, I'd say it was probably maybe 14 years. It was like pretty strong. It was getting weak. It still started the car. 17 did that little Jeep thing, but it was a really tiny battery too. So I'm not sure why. I think it was a combination of that solar panel thing I had, which finally broke, and the battery tender battery minder desulfator. But you don't necessarily need a desulfator, because if you keep the but make sure you get a good brand of battery. Don't get one with too many bells and whistles, man. I've seen so many these ones that got all this extra electronic shit on it. It's like there's always something else to go wrong. You're paying more money, you're less reliable. Keep it simple, stupid.